All right. You're the vengeful.
hmm
There you are. So this is what looks like an Archon slash Legend lobby. It looks like
Yep.
a PA went kind of crazy. It,
Yeah, this is I think this is on the new patch. I don't know. I forgot. But yeah,
let's see,
the
when was this? Nah, this is before the patch.
okay, yeah,
7.34.
might have been before the patch. But yeah. Um I had a couple questions about this game in particular.
Yeah.
Um and if I don't know if you had a chance to look at it yet. But yeah,
I
the
kind of went
P
over the little bit, but yeah, go ahead.
yeah, the PA went like completely nuts this game. And I just had like no idea what I'm supposed to be doing as a five to kind of help my team out and like not allow PA to just take over the game like that.
Hmm. Okay, so let's look at your itemization.
hmm
So you go Tranquils, Aethers. Um, Aethers is a bit. It can be. It gets kind of like weird. It's situational. I don't think it's something you should go like every game. Is this something you go every game on Venge?
No, my thought process behind it was like I kind of wanted to sit further away and go for rotations in the mid game and try and pick off
Mm,
people to kind of get my team back into the game.
mm.
It ended up not really working out though.
Okay. So in this game, if you're a vengeful and you're kind of looking at the enemy team, there's like at least five different ways to kill you this game. Like these four heroes alone can kill you just by themselves.
Yeah,
So probably your first item as a support is very important because it's going to set the precedent of how you go throughout the game and how survivable you are in fights. So
that makes
Aetherlens
sense.
is a super aggressive item. So
hmm
that's like you would get this item if like you were playing against heroes that could not kill you in the first 15 to 20 minutes of the game.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
So like Glimmer is a big one. Pavis is not as strong anymore, but you could go Pavis, has good stats. You could go Force Staff against Rod of Atos on this guy. He gets Rod of Atos at some point, so you can force out of the Rod of Atos when he
hmm
does his combo on you. You can go. It's just something that's you can go Ghost Scepter as our second item against PA and Wraith King, two heavily right-click heroes. What were the lanes? Safe lane,
I think
mid
Wraith
Wraith
King was
King.
mid. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
um. Yeah, but top, I can already tell that top is going to be an extremely strong lane.
yeah. It was pretty aggressive lane. I was actually duoed with my uh, Faceless Void, and I was trying to tell him like, "Hey, this is gonna be a rough lane. Like, Sky and Mars is gonna be a pretty tough lane." And uh, I don't know. I can't remember what exactly happened. I just know like we had a really rough start, and he ended up dying a bunch early,
Mm.
which wasn't ideal. At least I think he did. I don't remember. Maybe this was a different game.
It doesn't look like he had a terrible time, but it looks like he didn't get as much as he didn't look like he farmed very well. So,
Yeah, he was having a hard time farming. Maybe he didn't die, but he was definitely having a rough lane.
okay. So, as a support, you primarily play pause 5 or pause 4?
I play either or. I queue up for
Okay.
both, so.
So, all right, we'll just focus on pause 5 for this match. As pause 5 in this game, you have to really focus on you have to like before you even enter like a lane, you have to look at who your carry is, who are possibly their heroes are, like these two. Did I
hmm
swap it? Yeah, it swapped it. Um, and you need to mentally prepare yourself as to like what you want to do in the lane.
Right.
So Vengeful is a very good laner. Like she is a good stun. She has good potential to trade. Like she can set up
hmm
for kills. Like she's a very good laner. She's a bit squishy. She doesn't have as much survivability, but if you have the right carry, you can kill. Right?
Right.
Faceless Void, he can't kill. He's a
Yeah.
faceless void. He's survivable. He can't kill till he's level 6. Maybe he can punish with a time dilation. It's just rough. So
hmm
in this lane, my first thought would be as a pause 5 is I need to really focus on taking control of the two camps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You really need to take if you take control of those two camps and you're able to consistently get pulls off, it'll not only put your faceless in a better position to farm, but it'll take the focus off of faceless. So Skywrath will be less on faceless, and he'll be
Hmm.
more on contesting the pools, and he'll be more, and including the Mars. Mars even might even try and contest the pools. But it'll give more breathing room for the faceless.
Right.
So let's look at your starting items real quick. I don't see anything incredibly wrong with it. It was just like set of tangos. I should just look in game. It shows me number counts.
Yeah, I think I got either 2 or 3 tangos. That's usually what I start on Venge, unless like I have a matchup that's
Yeah.
something really crazy. But yeah, that's my normal start.
So that's pretty. I'm fine with those starting items. Definitely make sure. Like if you look at this lane, it's like okay, I really need to make sure I get my pulls off.
Hmm.
You should start with 2 sentries,
Gotcha.
and then like as minute into the lane, you should ferry yourself another sentry because if the other support's good enough, he's going to try and contest that sentry
Right.
and try and unblock. So I'm
Yeah,
going to look at. I'm going to primarily focus on how you're dealing with contesting the camps because that's going to be the most important part of this lane.
I agree.
Looks like you're setting up for first blood.
Yeah, I may have
So
been calling for it here. Yeah.
this is fine. This is also fine. I don't know if you know this, but this is
Hmm.
something that a lot of players seem to not know. Maybe you're about to do it. You're not. Okay, so if you want to check, so since you're dire, you're going to be getting to this board spot
Like.
last, right?
Hmm.
So let's say Radiant got there first, which
Hmm.
it looks like he did, but he placed it here. Before you place this vision down, since you know you're not going to be there first, you need to check to see if it's there. You know how to check it?
Oh, is this the trick where you go behind the trees right there, and if the tower
Yep,
hits you? Yeah, yeah, I know
exactly.
about this.
So make sure you check with the trees before you do this,
Hmm.
because then he'll just see that you placed a ward there and he gets free money.
I actually learned about this after this game. I'm pretty sure. Like I learned about that trick.
It's a pretty nifty trick. So just make sure you give the first blood to your carry or mid,
Hmm.
because it's a lot of gold.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
If you can control it. If it's like close, then don't worry about it.
Hmm.
So you started with 1 sentry, so and you're not going to be able to get there in time to contest this. So I don't know. Let's see. So they get a block on this spot, which you know about this
Hmm.
spot, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Do you know how to contest this spot, like without like in the best way possible?
I like to put the word like further up on the right hand side of the
Like
box.
this?
Uh, can't see if your cursor is somewhere.
Oh, you can't see my cursor. Hold on. Let me fix
Yeah,
that.
I can't see your cursor.
But now.
Okay, yeah, now we're good.
All right. So you said right here,
Like behind the trees, but yeah,
right
in that
here.
spot generally. Yeah, like
Yeah,
generally somewhere right there.
that's where you should put it. And I'm sure you know why since you do it already. But
Yeah, it's just easier to control.
now another question: where do you place it for blocking this camp?
That one depends, but usually, like in a lane like this, I would put it in the top edge, like
Right
top
here.
right edge. Yeah, somewhere on the top edge, usually top right.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's fine, but the better spot to place it would be right here,
Hmm.
just in case if like the pause four is really dumb and places a sentry right here, then he'd just be able to deward yours.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that
In
makes
this case, it
sense.
would have been fine to place it here because you're coming into lane late, so you deward his. It's weird,
Yeah.
but yeah, you got the right idea on both of those. So let's just see how you handle coming back to lane and everything. So you have the right idea. You really need to. What does this guy have first? He has time walk, right? Okay, well, maybe he didn't time walk. Um, you have the right idea, and you're really putting the pressure on the Skywrath on the side. So this is
Yeah, that
good.
was kind of my focus here, and yeah.
This guy's not time walking. Make sure you're
Yeah.
using your Q when you're actively trading with him. Now, like off the bat.
Okay, not on cooldown. Yeah, because it does cost a lot of mana.
Well, it's also like what's the word? when you're like, if someone's like, let's say this guy's gonna want to trade with you, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you only want to use it when this guy wants to contest trading with you, not if he's running away like that.
Gotcha. Okay,
Because then
that
it
makes sense.
punishes him even further for the trade.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So probably the biggest thing that I've seen right now is you haven't checked your camps
Yeah.
to see what camps you have, and you haven't blocked their camp. This is huge. Like
Okay.
if you want to
Yeah.
win your lanes, like every game, you have to make sure you have control over these camps.
Okay.
Do you know like the different types of pulls you can do with the small camp?
Yeah, like half pull, full pull. You can stack it and pull.
Okay. Do you know when you should do like a half pull and like a stack and pull?
I don't know like what's the best, like most ideal scenario for when to do a half pull or a full pull.
Okay. So I'll see if I can like if there's a moment, I'll show you when you should do each.
Okay.
If you have nothing to do in a lane, you stack.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's a minute 40, minute 50 or something, and the creeps are right here, and the void is fine, you come over here and you stack.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't need to pull at this moment, but you can pull, later on when you actually need to, and then you deny a full wave of XP.
Yep.
Did you do that on purpose to like aggro the creeps away from them?
Yeah, I was trying to pull it away.
That's good.
Uh,
I like that. I haven't seen a lot of people do that.
yeah, I was also trying to tell my Void in this lane to pull the creeps back to tower, but he was having problems doing that. Um,
So make sure you place it right here.
yeah, yeah, that
Makes it
was a bad
harder for
creep
them to
placement.
contest it. So at this point, um, you'd have to half pull because you're in dire need of a pull because of creep equilibrium. It's so
Right.
hard to say. And you don't have time to stack it. By the time you stack it and then pull in the next wave, Void's gonna lose out on like 3 waves of XP.
Yeah.
So immediately, this lane is like a dumpster fire for your Void
Yeah, so
because
my Void is trying to walk up here and contest creeps, but it's a really bad idea. So I was like, all right, maybe I should shadow him and try and trade with this guy.
you
But
don't want to trade because they're very strong. Like
yeah.
you guys are very weak. Like the best that you can do is maybe bait spells towards yourself,
Hmm.
like that you take the damage instead of him.
Yeah, that was yeah.
And he needs to get better at using his time walk. Like I don't think he's used it once in this lane. But um, you really at this point it's just like it's so hard to recover.
Hmm.
But this is all because you didn't get the block on this camp.
Yeah, they got that pull off, and now
It
they
is
have the wave.
crucially important. People at all ranks, including mine, sometimes just don't block the camp. Maybe because they're not comfortable with pause 5 or pause 4 or anything, but they need to block that camp.
Mm,
And you need to continuously block it and contest it. If they come over and if they deward it and you don't have a sentry with you, you have to body block it.
okay.
Because especially for Dire, it is so easy for Radiant off lane to get a pull off and then completely mess up your lane, especially in a very aggro lane like this. Like these
Hmm.
heroes really want the creeps to be right here so that they can kill you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And do you know like the importance of creep equilibrium, like why you'd rather have the creeps here rather than here?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. For context, the MOBA that I came from is League of Legends,
Hmm.
where there's a similar concept. You just can't pull the waves, but you can like freeze the wave by your tower and make it a lot easier to farm. So like the whole concept of creep equilibrium makes sense, um, and I understand like the impact of it, uh, but I
This
wasn't sure like how exactly to take back equilibrium. And you're saying it's half pull, right?
Yeah, half pull.
Okay.
So pulling does two things or three things, I guess. One, it denies XP.
Hmm.
I guess four things. It denies XP. It diverts attention off your faceless void, so they have to come contest the pool. It gives you golden XP, and it fixes creep equilibrium.
Okay.
And I guess five things because then the faceless gets solo XP.
Yeah.
So pulling is very important in any lane, even like a lane that you're winning. If you're, let's say, look at this lane.
Hmm.
Like this lane, well, I guess they're not doing too well. But let's just
Yeah,
imagine they're winning, right? Let's just
yeah,
imagine they're winning. Well, they could easily pull this. I don't
yeah.
know. But let's just imagine Radiant is winning this. If they were to
Hmm.
simply like contest this, get their stuff unblocked, and then get like a triple stack or double stack, they can deny like the next two or three waves, and then the
Hmm.
Dire can't contest it because they're weaker.
Right,
So it doesn't matter what type of lane you have, you always have to prioritize pulling. It's just this lane is just hyper important because you're not very strong.
right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That makes total sense.
So let's see what you decide to do next. Okay, so typically, they didn't do this, but if this offlaner was good, he would keep his body right here so that these creeps would stay outside of the
Stay out.
tower
Yep.
range and keep the
Yeah.
creep equilibrium. So make sure you save your mana to use it on him to force him to go under tower and not take a beating from the
Okay.
creeps. So
Got
just be aware of that. Looks like he does do it. I don't think he purposely tried to do it. You're like, oh shoot, my small camp's blocked.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's really bad. I didn't notice it till like I think right now in the game that
So
it was
yeah,
actually blocked.
just get yourself in the habit before the lane even starts or like pre-game or anything. Check the
Hmm.
camps. If you're gonna block, like if you have one sentry, use it to block the large camp, or
Hmm.
if or you can do it to deward this and then use your body to block this for level one until you get your next one, your next
Hmm.
sentry. Um,
So would you say that unblocking the small camp is more important than blocking the big camp in this lane?
it depends. So in this lane, when you're going against a Mars and a Skywrath, they can do a lot of damage to you. They're very strong early levels.
Hmm.
So you block if you were to use your sentry to deward this. Let's say you had one sentry.
Hmm.
You should have two. You like after this game, you know to have two against this type of lane. But just say
Right.
like hypothetical, you have one sentry. You should use it on the large camp because you're not going to be able to stand here without being punished.
Yeah.
You'll get punished if you try and block it, and you want to use all your HP as efficiently as possible to protect your faceless.
Okay.
That's so rough.
Yeah.
It's a really hard faceless void lane. So you're gonna lose this lane. Like you have to go on the mentality. You're gonna lose this lane no matter what. Like you need to make the
Yeah.
best of it. Like deny as much XP. Try and keep your faces alive as much as possible, and try and keep the creeps as close as possible to your tower.
Right. Yeah. That I felt that at this point in the game that this was going to be tough. I mean, I know like having a void like levels 1 through like 6 is really rough anyways. Um um so I was kind of already prepared to have a hard lane against the Mars and the Sky.
Mm. So, like I said earlier, just make sure you don't place it out here. I've
Hmm.
literally seen do you know like the radiant spots too for like sentries for both
Um
dewarding and warding?
what I normally do on Radiant side is I'll place the sentry at the bottom of the edge of the box, like
Right
right
here
there.
to block it, right?
To block and to deep unblock.
Mm.
I put the like if I am Radiant side, I'll put it out just outside the box right there, uh, to cover the box and unblock it.
Mm. Okay, good. So what about this camp?
Yeah, and like the top left side, I'll usually
Right here?
um block it. Yeah, right there
That's a good spot. There's another spot right here as well that a lot
behind
of
that
people
tree.
can't find. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so if you're gonna let's say if you're on Dire and you're gonna play this lane
Hmm.
and as a pause four, we'll dip into being a pause four bit, and you want to deblock this, unblock this, a lot of mistakes that players will do, and you kind of take a risk by doing this, but a lot of risks, like a lot of what, oh my God, English. A lot of times what players will do is they'll place, let's say you're soft support, they'll place a sentry here, and then they'll
Hmm.
try and find it, and they have to walk through the trees and stuff to try and find it. That's a mistake. You won't find the sentry. the pause 5 will hit it and deward it immediately if they have vision of
Mm-hmm.
it. What you need to do is
Yeah.
you need to place it behind the trees so that it forces the pause 5 to go and find it behind the trees.
Mm,
And
okay.
it's not going to be good for the pause 5. You'll be able to deward it, and you'll be able to deward like future dewards. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
All right, let's go
Yeah,
back
I
to your lane though.
did not know that. Yeah.
So at this point, you should be thinking like half pool. This is good. This is good for you.
Yeah, here I felt like just trading and using my health bar is probably better than. I think he gets a kill here even.
So you
Yeah.
got a little tunnel focus there. You should probably have used your faceless was going on this guy.
Yeah.
So you should probably use your like wave of terror primarily on him, and then maybe keep hitting the Skywrath. But that's something that's like mechanics. I won't go over mechanics too much because
Hmm.
that's something that you can go over yourself. But if like you don't know something, I'll bring it up.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, close.
Yeah.
At this
Yeah,
point, you're
but
probably thinking, do I run back to base? Do I pull? What do I do, right?
here, yeah, I think I was going back to base here. Or
So
I think I should have stacked here first before going to base.
I think you could have still hit that stack. You know why I say that?
No, why?
So right at this moment,
Hmm.
right here, what you do is you hit it and you run right here and then stop and let this creep camp hit you again. And then do you know how like aggroing works with these creeps for like these
Yeah,
creeps?
yeah,
So like if it hits you, these creeps get aggroed, right?
yeah, yeah. Oh, so you're saying the pull. I thought you were talking about stacking
No, no,
or
not
doing
pull.
both.
We could stack, but do something before you leave. Like if you were to do
Hmm.
it right here and go right here and or maybe right here and get the half pull, that would help
Hmm.
bow your faceless before you run back to base.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
now
I was honestly concerned that the camp might actually kill me.
I think you
I
would have
don't
been
know.
fine with your stick.
Yeah, I did have stick. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I definitely should have stacked there though, or I've done something, pulled the stack, whatever. Ended up pulling the next wave apparently.
So what I
Uh,
will say though is later on to the lane, doing these sort of full pulls are fine, but earlier in
hmm.
the lane, don't do full pulls
Hmm.
because it will push the hell out of that lane.
Yeah,
Think of like a Think of like a full pull as like an ibuprofen to treat a headache. It's not going to cure
yeah,
the headache, but it's going to make it feel better. So this faceless void is going to have, he's going to have a better lane for like the next 30 seconds. Then it's going to
yeah.
be
It's
terrible.
it's because you'll have a creep advantage going to
Yeah.
push into their side. Yeah,
Typically, like, or usually, if I was a faceless void and I saw that there's a small camp pull and I know that the offlaner wasn't there, I would probably try and keep the creeps outside the tower as long as possible.
yeah,
But I don't think he's gonna do that. Oh, there's a lot of creeps actually. Holy cow!
yeah. It was a pretty big wave. Um, I don't know if he would have been able to keep it outside of tower.
So right
But
here, your job
hmm.
is since usually whenever an offlaner will ever split off creeps like this, you need to chase them
Okay.
because you always want to give your carry solo XP. So not
Hmm.
only is this an excuse to give your carry solo XP, but it's also a way to deal damage to this guy because he's getting chased by creeps.
Okay, that
So
makes
you also
sense.
have minus armor too, right?
Yep.
So minus armor plus creeps does even more damage. And you don't want him to get these like you trying to word this correctly. You also want to force him to go under tower.
Yeah, to break the freeze that he's trying to create.
Yeah. So if he goes under tower, then he gets rid of all that creep equilibrium that was about to go his way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As soon as that Skyrath shows up, you got to back off because you'll
I,
maybe
yeah,
die.
I was kind of scared that the sky was in the lane because we hadn't seen him in a while,
Yeah.
and if I walked up to chase him, I was scared that I was just gonna get comboed and die.
But what you should be doing though is
Hmm.
you should be punishing him. Every time you don't see this guy in lane, especially at your level, you should be punishing this guy.
Gotcha. Okay.
So think of like a lane, like any lane, as like both the supports are just butting heads.
Hmm.
Like, okay, like do you watch football or like know
Yeah,
football?
yeah,
So you
yeah.
know how like the line, there's like there's a bunch of linemen, right? They're all there
Hmm.
clashing heads to try and get to the quarterback.
Hmm.
Think of like the two supports as linemen trying to like clash heads to get to the quarterback or to protect the quarterback, and each of
Hmm.
these supports are trying to get to the enemy core.
Right.
So now that the Skywrath is not here to punish you to go against this guy, you need to immediately start right clicking him, using your W, using your Q, whatever, however you deem necessary.
Okay, that makes sense.
So
Now, I think right here, I don't remember what I was doing. Maybe I was moving back for another pull. Uh, no, I guess not. But is harassing more important in this situation than getting a pull off and trying to reset the lane?
that's going to be using your best judgment.
Okay.
So in that case, in my opinion, harassing would have been better
Okay.
because just in my brain, I can foreshadow that Mars would like lose 400 HP or 500 HP, and then that would give this guy a lot more space and even kill potential with time dilation.
Yeah.
So I mean, you didn't. I don't think you got a pull. You're not going to get a pull off anyways. So
Yeah.
probably in that case, it would have been a lot better to harass.
Okay. That makes sense.
All right, let's go back. Nope, wrong purple thing. So it looks like the faceless just he tried to go for a pull, but it didn't work. This is perfect. This is perfect. I don't know if you saw the Skywrath on bottom, but
Yeah, yeah, that's why I decided to walk up and trade.
you should use that train of thought for
Hmm.
everything within the lane. You need to leverage everything. You need to leverage health. You need to leverage mana. You need to leverage the
Hmm.
Skywrath going for the Wisdom Rune or anything. Like, oh, also one more thing, two more things actually. Another thing I haven't noticed is you never try to contest these Lotus pools. Is that just because
Yeah,
you're not like aware or?
no, it's because this lane being as tough as it is,
Mm,
I didn't feel like I had the opportunity to go for it, or at least I
mm.
felt like it was illegal, so to speak. Like if I try to go for it, I would get punished really heavily.
I understand. I understand the train of thought, but thing of is you cannot let them have it because then they'll just use that mana to just destroy your faceless.
Right. Okay.
So like if you go up, like think about it. When has two heroes ever gone up to get a Lotus?
Yeah, it's
It's
usually
pretty
just the
rare.
support.
So you versus Skywrath, you have a stun.
Yeah.
So if you stun the Skywrath and then go for the Lotus, you're gonna get it every time. Even if you get punished, just think of it as they're using a bunch of mana to kill you and not on the
Okay.
faceless.
Yeah, that makes
So that's
sense.
one thing. Another thing is in lanes that are tough like this, even if the lane is like really shoved in and you should probably be pulling, you should always attempt to go through here, like through here, make sure you have a TP, position yourself in these trees and try and steal their wisdom rune. Like they haven't even gotten it.
Oh yeah.
Like
Okay.
wisdom runes are hyper important. Hyper important. It's not only level 6 faster, but they're gonna get this techies level 6 faster. And if you get not only one, but you get two, then your
Hmm.
supports are just. I've seen supports just solo carry because of the game. So make sure you
Yeah,
really position yourself for that.
that's something I see quite often in my games is like there's not a lot of emphasis at all put on the wisdom runes in my games.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you can do that'll actually turn the tides of your game pretty like significantly.
Okay, it's good
So
to
two
know.
things, well, I guess three things to take away from this lane from what I've seen, or maybe four,
Hmm.
is sing camps correctly, make sure you're warding correctly,
Hmm.
make sure you're contesting lotus pools correctly, make sure you're going for the wisdom rune, like
Hmm.
right here at 7 minutes. Make sure you are leveraging. Make sure you understand when you're supposed to attacking the Mars rather than backing off.
Gotcha. Okay.
So overall, you're not doing it like a terrible lane. This isn't like an absolutely heinous lane. It's
Yeah.
an uncomfortable lane, but it's not heinous. So right here, when you're kind of like, okay, nothing's going on, the Skywrath's not here. Like you're just kind of like you're just chilling in this lane, like you're not gonna kill him. You just don't know what to do.
Hmm.
You gotta take yourself out of the lane and do something for a second. Like go contest rune or go stack or go stack and pool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely
Because
felt like it could have been a little bit more efficient.
this faceless, think about it. This faceless is on a race against this Mars to get 6 first. If this guy gets level 6, this faceless sucks, right?
Yeah.
If this guy gets level 6 first, this Mars sucks.
Yeah.
So solo XP is king in these cases. Make sure you're being as efficient as possible and you're not sitting in lane so much. Another thing that you could do, not another thing that I didn't mention, is this magical thing right here.
Okay.
This thing has changed the game tremendously for every position known to man. It's for carries, for offlaners, for supports.
Hmm.
If you were to come behind, you would be able to come here and you can either kill the Jakiro, you kill the PA, whatever it is, you might even force the Skywrath at TP bottom. And the Skywrath TP's bottom, the amount of space that would be made would be tremendous for your carry.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So make sure you're being efficient. Make sure you're thinking about not just laning. This is really good for you guys. So now that just happened, you should immediately think, okay, they're not strong right now, right? This guy
Yeah,
no
I
longer
can.
has Mars Arena. He's super low HP. This guy
Mhm.
is not level 6, and he's half mana. This is like go time for you. You need to figure
Right.
out what you want to do to capitalize. You can either sit here, or you can try and kill. You can leave the lane because you know Faceless is going to be fine being alone. You
Hmm.
can go through portal. You can go stack. You can do something. Like you should be happy right now. I'd be like, that was really good for our lane.
Yeah,
So
understood.
let's see what you do. Just make sure you're using your Q to trade, not just to throw it out. So right here, you can do a little wraparound. I think you'd be able to kill him pretty like easily. He's only has one spell for one mana, or mana for one spell, and time
Hmm.
dilate's super strong, and he can just time walk. Like your faceless is now a hero now.
So I shouldn't wait for Void to hit 6
No,
first. Okay.
you you also need to be communicating with your lane partner and be like, all right, let's go, let's go, let's go. Like
Hmm.
you guys are hyper strong right now because they don't have mana or spells.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Let's see. There you go. So the faceless didn't understand, but you understood. So you're level 6, dude. If I was you and I was level 6, I'd be like, faceless, run at this motherfucker right now. He's dead. Or run at this
Yeah,
motherfucker.
I was trying to communicate. We were in Discord. I was telling him I'm 6 and we're looking for a kill now.
So you're party with him?
Yeah, I was partied with him. Yeah.
Makes it even funnier. So like I said, this is
And
fine. It's like a short
he,
term.
yeah, here I'm pulling because I'm trying to bait them into overextending.
Hmm. That's a creative play. I don't think they'll go for it though, because they're weaker.
Yeah.
And if they know it. So you just saw with your own eyes that this guy is here now.
Yep.
Now that this guy is here.
Yep.
So my the immediate thing I derive from this situation is that this Mars is significantly weaker because he's paired with a hero that is not as strong with him.
Yeah.
You can no longer get Spear Mystic Flared on our Faceless, or he can't get silenced.
Yeah.
Faceless can literally survive anything that is thrown at him. So you can either go through Portal, go bottom, you can stack
Hmm.
and pull, you can go contest, do something. You got to do something that is in the lane for now. And just
Okay.
keep your
Yeah.
eye on the lane. Faceless used Time Walk a bit aggressively, but that's okay. So I
So
would
we
go
have
an
the
aggressive
techies here
swap right
now.
here.
Yeah,
So that was your
I think
techie's fault. He showed.
he showed. Yeah, he showed, and it kind of killed the
So
play.
don't be afraid to like swap super aggressively before stunning or anything. Like it's
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
not super aware of the range. It's like
It's kind of small early, but it gets a lot larger as you get levels.
usually if like a Mars sees a Venge walking towards him, he's not gonna think anything because
Hmm.
he hasn't been killed by that Venge in the lane in a while. So if you were to
Yeah.
go for the swap there, you probably could have killed him.
Hmm.
Um, but you know that's just bias, hindsight bias. At this point, you should not be thinking for a kill because it's under tower and there's two heroes there.
Yeah.
Bottom
I
right
was.
now, as well, bottom isn't much of an area of focus for you anymore because he killed the tower.
Yep.
So you no longer are needed there. You're either needed mid or you needed here or you needed to stack.
Yep. I think I do go stack now. Um, Forgot what exactly. I think I pull in and maybe stack or something like that. Just at this point in the
Something you
game.
could do as well
Hmm.
is double stack in the triangle for your Darkseer. Um,
Hmm.
so just be aware of like who your heroes on their team if they enjoy stacks or not. Like if you were to like, dude, stacking is so broken right now for supports, and I'll
I
tell you
agree.
why.
That's something that I was trying to focus on in the mid game of this game, and I've been getting a lot better with it. Like if you look at my recent games, I've been getting like 15 plus camp stack,
That's good. That's
and
great.
but yeah, the XP and gold that you get from stacking is really nice.
And you know to stand there when he takes it, right?
You're supposed to stand there.
Yep. Because you get the XP, the shared XP from killing it, and then you also get the bonus XP.
Okay, so that's something that I was confused about, and the partner that I was laning with, like in Discord, was telling me otherwise. He was telling me whether or not I'm standing there or not, I get the same amount of XP, and I was pretty sure that was wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. Like,
Okay.
I think like another thing about this is like these camps right here can be stacked like up to 7 times. I've done it in a pub.
Hmm.
Like if you hit this at 1 and then you hit this at 2, it'll be stacked every time. Especially this camp. These are way easier to stack.
Hmm. Yeah.
So if you have like a Sven or somebody like super great at taking stacks,
Yeah,
you'll
Darkseer is really good at it.
you'll get like 4 levels just standing there
Hmm.
and just like soaking the XP and getting the bonus XP. It'd be the equivalent of like 4 of these things, like 5 of these things.
Yeah. I think I want to say this is the game where whenever I did get around to stacking, I kind of felt like I should have been stacking sooner. Um,
It's not a humongous deal
hmm.
because it's just a Dark Seer, and it's
Yeah.
not. This isn't like some sort of 7K pub where you guys will take advantage of his like ore items that he gets.
Yeah.
It would be simply honestly for you more than anything.
Oh yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Is I think I felt like, or I typically feel like I'm behind in gold and XP in general.
Do you feel like this is a good play coming mid?
So I was kind of probing the situation, and because it's a level 10 Wraith King, I was like, yeah, this is probably a bad idea. I did not want to go for this play, and I think I got baited by my invoker was like telling me to go. I think we go for the play, and it pans out terribly.
See,
Yeah,
I didn't know that was gonna happen, but I can tell that that was not gonna go well.
yeah, I don't like trying to go for. Well, like I thought the Wraith King was having a bad game because it's Wraith King mid, but apparently he was doing decent in that lane against Invoker. Um, and yeah, that felt like a bad play to me.
So don't be afraid to think for yourself like a tiny bit. I know that sometimes like cores can be like intimidating, I guess, or like just annoying or a pain in the ass.
Well, like yeah, I'll get straight up flamed in some games, like for not like going for a swap or not like doing something that I feel like is a bad idea.
Then another thing, don't be afraid to mute people like that, because those people are like like it's one thing to like, hey man, like make sure you swab me out of this shit, or if they're
Yeah,
just like flaming, just like you don't even tell them, like don't even go, you're muted, just mute them,
yeah.
let them talk to themselves, and just don't let it ruin your game. Like this is a game you're trying to have fun,
Mhm,
and it'll also make you just play just worse.
mhm.
So right now, at in this state of the game, what do you think like you should be doing in the next
Yeah,
like what do you think it's gonna be doing in the next 2 minutes?
I kind of felt lost at this point in the game, and that's why like my default go to like is just start taking camps. Um, I see like my invoker's just clearing the mid wave. Darkseer is just being Darkseer on that side of the map. My Void's just trying to farm jungle and then pick up the creeps at tower. I don't really see a play that we can make because my team doesn't want to group. So I'm just kind of walking around the map and trying to find something to do.
So that's fine. Probably you just always have to like take a look at the hero. You have to like mentally be aware of like everyone in the game.
Hmm.
So you look like you sound like you have a decent idea of like what's going on the map, and you just don't know what to derive from it. Like you
Exactly.
know that bottom's gonna be static. You know that mid is unkillable,
Hmm.
and you know that top like is just top.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do, so you hit jungle. What you need to do is you need to think, okay, bottom, just cross that off. You don't need to think about that. Mid, be opportunistic. Be opportunistic. If they're pushing tower, help defend it with
Hmm.
techies or invoker. But you can't do it because invoker died.
Yep.
So just like, okay, be opportunistic. Top is where you should be kind of like making plays. Your
Hmm.
faceless is probably the most like when he has a chrono, he's the strongest hero in the game
Yeah.
with invoker sunstrike. I don't know if you guys ever talked about that, but did
Yeah,
they ever
we're
do
we're
that?
aware of that. Yeah, but the invoker, I don't think ever sunstriked in a chrono, but that's all right. But yeah, yeah, I was aware of
Oh,
that.
that was lucky.
Yeah, I didn't know he was going
He
for
walked
the
right back
chrono.
into it.
Yeah, he walks back into it. Yeah, he was extremely lucky that he walked back into it. Um, I
That was
didn't realize that
unlucky.
he was gonna go for the chrono before I swapped.
He was really unlucky bashing there. But no, that's
Hmm.
okay. So now that he's done, this is a good. This is what I actually like what you're doing now. Top is about to go static again, right?
Yep.
Bottom still static. You either stack or you go soak mid, and you're soaking mid, which is perfect. Nope, like the Wraith King can't really kill you unless you really mess up.
Yeah, I felt like I was generally pretty safe to go for something like that. Unless like their entire team's just there and smoked or something, kill me. But I felt like that was highly unlikely.
So yeah, your cores right now are kind of just losing. Like Darkseer's the only one doing fine. Like your the two cores are just, it's really hard for them because this Wraith King is so strong. He had too much of a free game from his Invoker.
Yeah.
So there's not a ton you can do about that. Another thing you can do maybe is try and coordinate with your techies. Your techies is very strong. To try and kill PA. So like
Hmm.
maybe you should have a smoke ready to go with techies.
Hmm. Okay.
Unfortunately, you have a even Darkseer can be strong, but it can be a little harder to catch the PA.
Hmm.
It takes a little bit more of coordination, maybe that lower ranks don't have. Um, but you can always try for it. Like you're kind of in a desperate scenario where you need a win,
Hmm.
or else you're gonna lose the game. Like the game is not looking too good. You guys might have a 2K net worth lead right now, but it's gonna go away very soon. Like they
Right.
just took two of your towers, and your invoker is now he's losing his lane now. It's just not looking good. So you need to make a play per se.
Hmm.
You can even think about it a little bit beforehand and set a ward, which you do. And perfect. You guys are making plays above the map. This is where you need to tell your team to not go there
I
because
don't remember what I said, but yeah, I was like, yeah, there's nothing more to be done.
holy
Right? Like,
cow.
yeah, but we ended up getting lucky. Like, I think they just completely misplayed that. But yeah, it definitely felt like we should not have been there. But they shouldn't have allowed us to be there.
Well, PA got an ultra kill. That's never good.
Yeah, and PA ends up getting pretty fat off of that.
So the way that I see it on your team is that you guys are strong every 150 seconds.
Right.
So you need to use like your faceless as kind of like a longer cooldown duel.
Yeah.
Like you guys need to like maybe make a smoke play and have your faceless. If your faceless is good, he'll start playing on this side of the map to maybe find a kill in PA potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you guys need to do something right now that gives yourself a win that isn't like just a clashing of heads. You guys need to have a fight that's actually beneficial to you.
I agree. Yeah.
Strategically, just think about it. Let's just think about it just for a little bit. This might seem stupid. Let's just think about it. If you
Mm-hmm.
guys are positioning down here and you guys are looking for the PA, and then you find the PA, let's say you find the PA and you chrono him without
Mm-hmm.
smoking, do you think that fight's going to turn out well?
At this stage in the game,
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like in my bracket it could go either way.
Yeah. Well, that's the correct answer. It can go either way.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yeah.
if you guys are lingering down here and then
Mm-hmm.
you happen to find a PA, chances are you're lingering in vision.
Yeah.
So if that PA is getting chronoed, it can be of two reasons. One, he's a really bad player and he doesn't know how to position himself or look at the map. Or two,
Mm-hmm.
he's positioning himself there because he feels comfortable to position himself there.
Right.
Because he knows that you guys are there and that he has a team behind him.
Yep.
So that's why it's very important to smoke. Because if you're
That makes
smoked,
sense.
you don't let the team respond or adapt to how you're playing or how you're trying to set up on the PA.
That makes sense.
And if you want to have the most influence as a pause 5, make sure you smoke. Like have smokes on you, make plays, communicate with your team, etc.
Yeah, it's something I need to get better at doing. So, like picking up smokes and making smoke plays in general. I think here I told the, the seer to ion shell me. I can help him farm a little bit faster while I'm not doing anything.
That's nice. This is something I've never seen before.
I
I'd probably
also
stack this
yeah.
again, but it is what it is. So, how do you feel about your vision right now?
I kind of feel like our vision sucks.
It does. You do have one ward down. Let's look. Let's go back. See, what are we at? 22. Let's go to 19.
Mhm.
Why won't it tell me the fucking timer?
Oh yeah, you can't see it. Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
good old spectator.
Let's see here, here. So all your vision's about to expire basically. So none of it got dewarded.
Hmm.
That's good. So I was gonna say that sometimes, and what I've seen from your guys' vision so far in the game is that you're actually placing your vision pretty well. Because what most players will do is they'll place a ward here, place a ward here, place a ward here, here, here. Very obvious spots. They'll get
Yeah,
the warded really easily. Like let's look at the Dyer's sentries real quick. Sentry here,
yeah,
sentry here, sentry here. Like they're only, especially your bracket, they are only gonna check the high ground.
yeah,
You should only place an obs on the high ground if you're about to fight there. Like let's say you're smoking into their triangle right now. It's dire.
hmm,
You should place an obs here before the fight.
yep.
Just
I
just
agree.
for the just the amount of vision that it gives. Another reason is let's say in a hypothetical universe, you guys are winning.
And we're
And
pushing a tower, right?
Yeah, but
Uh,
well, not even pushing a tower. Well, pushing a tower is one of the reasons, but
oh,
another
okay.
reason is let's say you guys are winning, like you guys are like you guys
Mm-hmm.
have a 10k net worth lead right now. You
Mm-hmm.
have one hero that is stomping. Like let's say this invoker is not an invoker and he's playing like let me look at my hero pool. Let's say he's playing Timbersaw or Visage or Void
Mm-hmm.
Spirit. Um, you want to place Vision here because he can or Storm Spirit. That's a perfect example. Having
Mm-hmm.
this Vision here while you guys inhibit this side of the map, basically, is perfect. It's amazing because you're going to be able to defend that Vision, right?
Right.
If a support tries to go deward that, the Storm Spirit will kill him.
Yep.
So that's kind of like one of the. There's basically like the two reasons. There can be some special circumstances we can place it. Like let's say you guys are playing a lot here, you can place it here defensively because you can defend it. It's just a matter if you can defend it or not. You shouldn't place it as normal vision.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. That's yeah. Generally, I'll only place high ground if like we're going for a fight or we're pushing something, and it makes
You've been
sense
pretty
to.
good about it, and probably fairing yourself vision right now. Yep. Ooh, be careful. That PA could have killed you. You
Yeah. Yeah. The PA does kill me a lot this game, I think.
didn't die that much. I did like 8 times or something. It's not bad. Or
Yeah.
lose or loss. Let's see. What do you see here?
Um.
So
Yeah.
were you looking
This.
at the map and you're like seeing that they were pushing bottom? Like, did you have your eye on it?
Yeah. This isn't something that I wanted to show up to, though.
You're right, but um, what do you guys? You have Chrono.
We do have Chrono, but he's like nowhere near
Hmm.
the bot side of the map, and
He doesn't have TP either. So yeah, you
yeah,
probably communicate with your team to not go on that fight. But at this point, you kind of had a good setup on the Wraith King. You might want to TP.
I think I waited for something here, and I think I do end up keeping. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's go back. Let's watch how you decide to use your spells. We'll go normal speed.
So here, I wasn't sure if I should
Swap
go
out a teammate or
for
not.
yeah, swap out a team. Exactly, yeah.
So that's what we're gonna go over. So let's see. You have Wall and Vacuum. He's used BKB. He's a techies with Reactive Taser, hopefully, and he's about to stun them.
Yeah.
So at this point, I would have held on to it. You have no
Okay.
reason to swap anybody right now. The only, like, if you were to swap back this Jakiro, it does nothing because
Mm-hmm.
nobody's gonna kill that Jakiro anyways. He's just gonna walk back this way.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of use it a bit impulsively there,
Mm-hmm.
but like right here, imagine if you had swap at this instance. Like if you were
Mm-hmm.
still alive back here, you're using your spells, you would have a lot more opportunity to do something in this fight.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's just see how it goes. He goes for Chrono. Nice.
Oh, he did Sunstrike from Chrono. Okay. But yeah, no, I agree. That was definitely a bad play.
So just be a bit careful how you use your spells. Understand, like when you think of a fight, like when imagining a fight, how the next fight's gonna happen. I want you to like kind of visualize how you want to use your abilities or how you want to use your swap.
Okay. Yeah.
Less focus on impulse.
Okay. Yeah.
Impulse can be fine at times, but not when you're in a very sensitive game like this. Okay, so you guys are now weak for the next 2.5 minutes. So at this
Yep.
point, you just want to, soak
Farm and
XP,
stack. Yeah.
stack, get down vision, and as soon as that chrono's up, like you should be counting down the seconds when this chrono's up and be like, all right, let's smoke, go somewhere, do something. Like
Mm-hmm.
you want to be as efficient as possible with this chrono because every chrono that comes up is a kill. It's someone dying. It could be the PA, it could be the Wraith King, it could be the Mars, it could be anybody. You guys are super good with the chrono. But every second that
Mm,
that chrono is not used is very inefficient
gotcha. Okay.
because that is another second where you guys are losing the game without using something that is super powerful for you guys. It's kind of
Okay.
like you're losing a race. It's like having it's imagine like having like a you're playing Mario Kart and you're having like that mushroom boost, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you get that mushroom boost every like 10 seconds. But then you're not using that mushroom boost for 4 seconds after the 10 seconds. It's not efficient. You're going to lose the race.
Yep.
Everything in Dota is a race. So this is fine. I don't see anything wrong. You're kind of just playing the map normally. Faceless has chrono up, so maybe you guys try and I can understand why some players at this rank can feel like they like that there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
Because it's a little scary to smoke into somewhere without vision, or like you don't know how to like approach something.
It's
Like,
also rather difficult to like get the team on board to make
mm,
a play. Like I can yeah ping the team and like tell them like hey Chrono's up, like get smokes shipped out to me, but like there's a chance that like the invoker just stays mid farming, and I don't know the techies is off doing something or the um,
yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah they're just off doing
It
something.
looks like you guys are about to set up for something, but this is what I said earlier. They have to watch out
Hmm.
for is vision. They're
Right.
about to see you.
Yep.
You guys might get a chrono off, but these guys are already running down here because they see you.
Yep.
So smoking is super important. You can literally smoke right now, run up here, place a ward, and then see that there's a guy farming here, and then you get the jump immediately.
Mm.
So never go like, you know what? It's time to introduce you to the idiot line. Let's see. I have to do something here. Pictures. Where was it? Let's just do this. Open with paint. I have no idea what this drawing is, but let's just ignore it. The idiot line. The idiot line. I'll make sure this is up on OBS. There we go. Idiot line. All right. The idiot line has been something that's been in Dota since its creation. Just nobody really knows about it. Like it's not something they teach you in the tutorial. If Dota
Hmm.
had a tutorial, I feel like if any game should have a tutorial, it should be Dota. This is something that every player should know. Some
Hmm.
players know it and they don't know they know it. And some players know what the idiot line because I told them what the idiot line is. Every position should know what the idiot line is. So I'm just going to make some towers. Very scuffed. I should probably use a Dota map or something. Um, so the idiot line initially is just straight down the middle.
Hmm.
Wow, this is so bad. Whatever. Oh my god. Like this tower. Okay, imagine if this tower's right here. Ignore that tower.
Hmm.
Um, so initially, this is the idiot line. It's the same thing like as if like creep equilibrium in the lane. You don't want it to go past that idiot line, right? Because then you guys don't want to be past there because you might die. That's an
Hmm.
example of the idiot line in the early game. The idiot
Right.
line can change throughout the game through different things. Like, let's say this tower dies.
Hmm.
The idiot line now becomes this.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is just imagine it as like map control, right? Every
Hmm.
tower that is killed or creeps that have gone into like or creeps that have gone past the idiot line, that just extends it. It means that anytime you pass this line at all, you are at
Mm-hmm.
risk of dying, and you are disadvantaged.
That makes sense.
For example, right here, you guys are past the idiot line.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys better be doing something that's really, really strategically smart.
On God.
Get out of here. um, I should get a locked Discord coaching thing, whatever. Um, your idiot line is probably like, let me go back to the paint. Make sure this up. So like right now, your guys' idiot line is like this.
Mm-hmm.
This is really bad drawing. Um, so you guys kind of like have this. I'll do really slow.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Anything past that is pretty scary.
Mm-hmm.
So as your Venge, I don't know if you had comms or maybe you were telling them, you should tell them to leave. You don't have vision of this area. They probably have vision of this area. They're gonna get a jump on this faceless void. He's gonna have to use his BKB preemptively. Like something bad is gonna happen.
Yeah, unfortunately, like this sort of thing is very common in my games, and so I'll try to like very cautiously assist, like from a distance. Like here, I'm kind of walking to the team, but like really don't want to be here at all. And yeah, I guess I impulsively swap.
That's okay. That's why we're
um,
here.
but yeah, this felt like a bad play, but I was also not really sure like what else we could have been doing.
What? Like you're asking me a question? Like what else could you have been doing?
Yeah, like so we have the chrono and we're trying to get teams well besides smoking, right? Yeah, it just felt like we had the right idea of like we want to make a play with chrono.
Mm-hmm.
Just bad execution, I
Yeah.
guess.
What you guys should have done is just smoke. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I kind of predicted the future like 20 seconds ago, and I said that you guys are probably entering vision, and you guys are probably about to die. It's
Mm-hmm.
just smoking is key, especially in
Mm-hmm.
lineups like with faceless. Even like if
Mm-hmm.
you had a spin on the team, you guys can still pull off smokes that are important.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, probably next time you smoke, you probably swap the evoker. Maybe he can finally figure out how to use Ghost Walk. Maybe he's looking through his thing. He's like, blue blue W or blue blue purple. But anyways, that's okay. I mean, it's just kind of a messed up fight. You're just kind of like gonna do damage control. Your Darkseer isn't really helping because he just showed up to an even worse fight.
Yeah.
Good old Wraith King. Does he have like a Yasha or Sage? Never mind.
Yeah, it was I think it was right about here where I kind of lost confidence in our ability to make a play with chrono. Like I'm not really sure if we can really kill anything with it. Wraith King is kind of hard to kill. The PA's kind of hard to kill because she can jump around a lot. And the PA is also kind of fed.
Also, getting your shard. Something that people don't really do. At lower ranks is they never go for tormentors.
Yep, I agree.
You guys have like the two best shards in the game. One of the best shards in the game at the moment. So I don't know. Yell at Invoker. Yell at your friend Faceless. Is like one of you guys come here and fucking take this tormentor so we can be strong and not have to pay 1,400 gold. That's a ghost
Yeah.
scepter or something. So make sure you're being as efficient as possible at all times. You didn't really have to go back to base. Oh, this could be good. Nice little pickaroo. Ooh. You know what the problem with this, right?
No.
These two?
Oh, do they overlap too much?
Yeah, they overlap a lot. So, have you ever like when's did you play Dota like, like 7 years ago or 6 years
No.
ago?
No, I just picked this game up like within
Okay.
the last
So, oh,
yeah.
how old are you? Or in this is this account on Dota?
Um
Damn, you're really new. You play
yeah.
pretty well, dude, for having 600 games.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Yeah, I come from League of Legends, which it shares a lot of similarities, and my buddy, the Void in this game, up to this
mm,
point, he's been kind of like helping me along and
mm.
like telling me stuff. But like, I've gotten to the point where I think like a lot of the stuff he's been telling me is like either incorrect or like we have a lot of disagreements now. Or
Tell
like
your
he,
buddy, give your buddy a Discord link to my channel, to my server. Tell him I'll
okay.
give him a discount or something. Um, anyways, but yeah, so basically, in
hmm
observer wards in Dota, it's super worth. Like, it used to be back in the day, like pros would place an observer ward that would give like the slightest bit of information.
Okay.
So like, as long as they knew just the tiniest bit of where somebody was, that's all they needed to know.
hmm
So the luxury of having just like a bunch of vision of the fog is nice, but it's not going to be worth. So for
Okay.
example, having two observers here is, it's fine for this area of the map, but you could place this observer literally right here, or you can place it
hmm
like here. You can place it here. Something to show like where you can see rotations to gain more information from the map. That's the purpose of
Okay.
observer ward. It's not the luxury of seeing stuff in the fog. It's the luxury of knowing what the enemy is doing.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, they killed a PA. What the heck? What happened?
Yeah, the PA kind of
When
old,
did
I
they kill
guess.
him? Oh, he chronoed him and killed him?
Yeah.
My God. What a Chad. He didn't even sunstrike it. Oh my God. Go back. Accidentally press 0. So this is actually very correct of your team. You guys kill the PA and you're immediately pressuring a tower when you see enemies on the map. This is fine. Now you're just being a bit overextended because the enemies have responded. They wasted kind of some of their shit. Maybe he'll use EMP. He's using Cataclysm instead. You could maybe probably there you could have done something a little risque.
I thought about swapping, but then I thought if I die for the tech use,
But
um,
you have this item.
I do have Ogre Seal, but I felt I now this might be because I don't just like have that many hours in Dota, so I
Mm,
often like feel like I misjudge stuff a lot. I'll think I
yeah.
can swap into something and stunned it, and just like miss that they had a. So that was like my thought process. To my stunned and just die.
So there's a bit, it's obviously everything's hindsight bias. We're looking at it back, but you
hmm
probably could have done it and been like a really cheeky play. What I would have done if I was you. If we go like a
hmm
little bit back when he was right there, stupid player view. Um, I would have, or like right here, I would have swapped them back, ran this way, and ogre sealed up this hill
Okay.
because this Wraith King does not have blink, I believe. Yeah, he just blinked, so he didn't have blink either. So that would have done two things. One, it would save your techies, and the other thing is that it would have forced them to either choose you, like the chance of maybe killing you,
hmm
or which would help your invoker live and everybody else live, or chasing the techies, which is already away.
Okay.
So going for those risque plays, or it's flashy. Oh my god, what is this Booker doing? I would definitely swap them out here. The Invoker.
Yeah, this is what my buddy was saying. My buddy was saying I should have swapped the Invoker and not the Mars here, and I agree. I was like, yeah, that was just me not thinking.
Hmm. It's okay, you're new to Dota. How many hours do you have in League?
I don't know. It doesn't exactly tell you. So
Hmm.
I've
Probably
played for a really
smart.
long time. Yeah, I played for a really long time. I hit plat, which I'm not sure what the MMR equivalent to like plat in Dota would be.
Hmm. Sounds like it's good.
It's like I'd say like slightly above average.
Like I said, Wisdom runes.
Hmm.
Very important. As it gets on later into the game, it's more of a luxury than anything, but the first two Wisdom runes are very important.
Yeah, it feels like getting your 6 earlier is definitely more important than just more levels later.
Yeah. So at this point, you guys are kind of like... Let's go back a little bit.
Hmm.
My god, what happened to your Faceless?
Yeah, no, you just died.
Is he low or something? Why can't I see him?
No, I don't think so. I think you just,
Holy cow!
yeah, just PA
Melted.
crit. Yeah. I feel the same way. Well, like, it was difficult with PA because I felt like it was hard to position this game. I just felt like I would get one shot by PA if I'm not like just really far in the back or something.
Your positioning is actually very good, I will say. A lot of supports have trouble with that, trouble with positioning. But you are positioning yourself very well. Probably the biggest thing is, I think you work on your swap prioritization,
Hmm.
making sure you know who to swap. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
she kills everything here, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, she gets... Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, let's go back at that. So you're still in
So
Mars.
here I didn't expect to get one shot by the PA when he came off of Aegis.
Typically, um, you want to kind of position yourself in the fog as much as
Hmm.
possible. Like your positioning is pretty good in the fights, but
Hmm.
good supports will always like cast from the fog.
Gotcha.
So like you probably could have maybe like I don't know like been a little bit further away. Just
Yeah, to be
position
honest with
yourself a
it,
bit further.
yeah, with Aetherlands, I had no excuse other than I was just being lazy. Because yeah, like I said, I didn't expect the PA to just be able to just kill me. So yeah, I was being a little bit lazy with my positioning here. That ended up getting me killed. Probably the rest of the team killed. I don't know. Did she pop BKB? If she popped BKB, it might not matter. I think she popped BKB here.
I mean she does, but it doesn't save her from anything. Your team also was all getting cleaved. So.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
but PA on this patch feels even worse than
Oh yeah, the new change made her a bit weird. I don't know how to feel about her yet.
like being able to guarantee crit is kind of crazy.
But yeah, as support, um, if we're playing heroes against like PA and Wraith King,
Hmm.
go Scepter. Go Scepter, go
Yeah,
Scepter, go Scepter. It's very good.
I wasn't sure if I should go it only because they have like the Jakiro and Sky.
Never be deterred by magic damage.
Okay, that's good to know then.
Never really be deterred by magic damage. Pretty much ever. Like it doesn't even cross my mind when I buy Ghost Scepter as a support.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
always think of it like, just think about it. You're spending 1,500 gold to make yourself survive. Let's see. You survive for 4 more seconds.
Hmm.
So it's basically like an Aeon disc times two. And
Hmm.
the only way that they can counter that is buying a 4,000 gold item that they
Yeah.
necessarily don't want to buy. It's a good item. Don't get me wrong, but they don't have any reason to really buy it this game other than the techies.
Right.
So you're forcing their hand by buying that item, and by that time they buy that nullifier, you'll probably have like other items to already deal with them anyways.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So definitely Ghost Scepter's pretty important. Shop, get out of my way. To this
Yeah,
point, sorry,
okay.
continue.
I said I opted for the force staff instead. That was kind of like my solution to
That's
that.
okay.
My
Force
opinion.
staff's fine. The only thing is that PA could probably kill you before you even have time to force staff away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she'll probably just jump on you again. Alright, let's go back. I'm going a little fast. This is a funny Wraith King. Okay, so positioning your right here is a bit bad. Make sure you don't use force staff really aggressively like that. So
Okay.
you really, really need to be careful how you're swapping with Venge.
Mm-hmm.
It seems you always like to swap kind of like vulnerable heroes back,
Yeah.
but the only time I ever really see Venges use swap aggressively is if they do it for an initial swap,
Like a pick, right?
like a pick, or
Yeah.
they use it as a last chance type of kill. Like if
Mm.
I don't know, like let's say this Wraith King is like barely like scurrying away, and you just swap them, like that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
That
But
makes
mostly
sense.
Venges will save swap to save. So like let's say this PA goes on your invoker and this invoker is getting fucked up, or your faceless.
Yeah.
Like your faceless probably is the number one priority for swaps, just to make sure he survives for chrono.
Yep.
So
Okay.
just really make sure that you're using your swaps for a good reason, other than this this Jakira. Also, what's with your name, Fabiano Marijuana?
Oh, it's I don't know if you keep up with chess or anything like
I
that.
do. Well, I don't. I play chess, but I don't know what
Okay.
it's about.
Fabiano Corona is a like top GM. So it's just like a play on his name.
Oh, okay,
Um,
that's kind of funny.
I've gone through like a couple of different like iterations of different top chess
Oh,
players,
you have
and I
Magnus
got
Carlsen as your picture. I didn't even notice.
yeah. My name used to be Magnus Carlos because there was an article there's an article published about Magnus Carlsen, and they spelled his last name wrong. They spelled it Carlos, and so someone made a meme and they put like the Spanish like mustache and sombrero hat on him. So that's my profile picture.
It's a good fight. And you didn't use Chrono. Alright, speed this up a bit because you have to go soon. Try to
Yeah.
cover everything. And I'll give you at the end like 5 things to work on, like in your games.
Okay.
Um, so I want to make sure I have time for that, or I'll just let you go and I'll send it to you.
That works too. Yeah. Yeah, because I feel like
Let's go
I'll be
back.
honest, there's probably not a whole lot to talk about that we haven't already covered at this point in the game. Um,
Like to the end of the game.
yeah, like it's pretty much like we're just getting rolled by PA. PA and Wraith King for
Yeah,
the
that's
rest of
what it
this
looks
game.
like.
Yeah, I would say the game's pretty much lost at this point.
Some losses, but it happens. But wins.
Yeah, I have already started like trying to get better with stacking in my most recent games that I've played. Um, just trying to be more mindful of stacking and trying to play, I guess, better support. And um, like I said, I've also been trying to be more mindful of the early camps because I think it was me going back and looking at that game, um, like doing my own analysis
Mm.
and realizing like we got screwed pretty hard because of me not prioritizing those camps.
Yep. So number one reason is camps. You really, really, really need to focus on those camps.
Yeah, this
And
kind of
lane.
solidified that for me.
Use the methods that I talked about on our stream, and you'll have the VOD.
Hmm.
If you want to look back, you can look back, or you can message me on Discord. I'll answer any of your questions.
Hmm.
If you can send me a clip or anything, I'll help you. But yes,
Okay, great.
camps. So important in lane. You can solo win a lane from camps. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a diva as a carry. Like I'm very much like as a like with my supports,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm making sure that they are on top of their camps because it can kill or make a lane. Number
Mm,
two,
okay.
itemization. Make sure you're building the right items for the right purpose. The Ada
Mm-hmm.
lens is a bit of aggressive and it's very expensive for your
Yep.
hero. Use that for a Force Staff or a Pavis, or
Mm-hmm.
use it for a Ghost Scepter. Make sure you're looking at the enemy heroes and think, if I was this PA, I'd be really annoyed if this guy bought a Ghost Scepter.
Mm-hmm.
I would never be able to kill him, and I'd have to buy Nullifier. Number three, I was gonna say, I'm blanking out. Number three was yeah, smoking slash
Yeah, that's something I
communication.
definitely know I need to work on, but I was always unsure like of like when. So this has helped out a lot, and I think I'll start incorporating smoke.
All right, and the last one that I have to say about this is team fights,
Mm-hmm.
prioritization slash positioning.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much it. If you have any more questions about that specific replay or something that I missed, feel free to hit me up on your ticket or whatever. I'd be happy to
Okay.
help you.
Cool. Cool.
Go go do your lesson.
Thanks.
All right, I'll see you later, man.
All right. I really appreciate it, guys.